In this topic, we are going to review one of the most heavily tested areas of the CPA exam, which is loss contingencies.
So let's get started. Going to learn in this session, we are going to learn to distinguish between a loss contingency and a gain contingency. The exam love to test the differences. PRR rule, this is very important. If you cannot remember anything from this session, just remember this one. We are going to learn how to apply two-step tests for recording the loss contingencies. In the exams, you might remember that they usually give you like an estimate. So we are going to learn how to handle the ranges. And then we are going to have some CPA exam style questions. Exactly is a contingency. A contingency is an existing condition with uncertainty about possible gain or loss that is resolved by future events. So here what we need to pay attention is an uncertainty. And there are two types of contingencies. The first one is a loss contingency, which is maybe there's a potential lawsuit, maybe there's a warranty, or maybe there's an environmental cleanup obligation that we do not know whether it's certain or not. And the second is the gain contingencies. Maybe the company sued someone and we are expected to get something, or maybe we are expecting some insurance payout. So those are all considered gain contingency. And what does the exam ask the students? So they want to know, we can identify if it's a loss contingency or gain contingency. And they want to make sure that we can understand the probability level. So here you are going to hear three different words. So number one, is it probable? Is it reasonably possible, or is it remote? Basically, the exam wants to know if we can determine the probability level, and then can we calculate the amounts to record or disclose. Let me give you the big picture framework for handling the loss contingencies. There are three steps you need to follow every single time. Step one, you assess the probability. Is this loss probable, reasonably possible, or remote? How do you know that? Usually the exam explicitly gives to you. It says you spoke with the company's lawyer and they said it's reasonably possible, or they say it is probable. Number two, you determine if the amount is estimable. So can you reasonably estimate how much loss is going to be? Sometimes the exam gives you a specific amount. It says the lawyer expect it is going to be this much. Or sometimes they give you an estimate, a range between this value and that value. And step three, you apply the appropriate treatment based on your answers, number one and number two. So based on the answers you see here, you decide whether you need to record it, whether you need to disclose it, or you need to do nothing. So in the exam tip, always look for the words probable, reasonably possible, and remote. Talk about the most important framework in this entire topic, the PRR rule. This is the most tested concept for contingencies, so listen carefully. Here P stands for probable. If a loss is probable, you record it. That means you make a journal entry and you disclose it in the footnotes. The first R stands for reasonably possible. So if you hear that if a loss is reasonably possible, you reveal it. So what does it mean? You disclose it, no journal entries. And the last R for the PRR rule stands for remote, which means if you hear the word remote, you just relax. What does it mean? You do not make the journal entry and you do not disclose it in the footnotes. So here's the exam tip. This PRR framework is the foundation of everything. The exam will give you the probability level, then we'll ask you whether you know if you need to make the journal entry or if you need to disclose it. Here we have one critical exception, which is the guarantees. Let's go it on the next slide. Critical exception for the PRR rule, and it is a major exam trap. So pay close attention because in the exam they like to give you things like debt guarantees, lease guarantees, performance guarantees, and always in the notes they say remote. So when the students see the remote, they think PRR rule, remote, relax, so we do not need to do anything. But this is an exception. Guarantees must always be disclosed, even if the probability is remote. So if you see the guarantee, you're going to disclose. Even if it's remote, you still disclose. This one is important. But when you actually record a loss contingency with a journal entry, for this one, there's a two-step test you need to apply. And we have two conditions. So number one condition, the loss must be probable. And the number two condition, it must be estimable. So what does it mean? Sometimes in the exam they give you some loss contingency, it is probable, but they don't give you an estimate, or they give you an estimate, but they do not give you anything for the first step. So when that happens, you do not record it. This one is important. You only record it when both conditions are met. And how do we do it? We debit the expense and we credit the liability. This is a very simple journal entry, but here the exam trap is usually the two-step test, so you need to make sure both of the conditions are met. But gain contingencies. This is an area the exam loves to set a trap for the candidates, and here is the rule for the gain contingencies. You never record it until realized. Why is that? Conservatism. We are conservative about recognizing gains, but not about recognizing losses. We might disclose a gain contingency in the footnotes if it's probable, but we are very cautious about it, and we absolutely never record it. Here's the exam trap you might see. The exam will give you a gain contingency that is probable and estimable. So it's going to be something like maybe they're going to describe a lawsuit to your company, you filed it, and your lawyer says it's probable you will win 500,000. Then they're going to ask you, what should you record? And one of the answers would say record a receivable 500,000 because it's probable and estimable, which is the case for the loss contingencies. But this is the wrong answer. You never record it. Conservatism, if there's a gain, we do not record it until realized. One way to remember it is gains get gone. To an example, you might see a multiple choice question which starts something like that. Your company here, our company is Tech Corp. We are sued for patent infringements. They filed a lawsuit in year 8, and at the end of the year 8, here are the facts. So we contacted our legal counsel. He said probable loss. Remember from our PRR rule, if it's probable, we record it. He gave us some estimate. He said it's going to be between 800,000 and 102 million. He said, okay, this is the maximum, and it's expected to resolve in 2009. And the question is asking us, what should Tech Corp record in its year 8 financial statements? And here are the options. So it says no entry required, disclose footnotes only. Now, if this was a gain, that would be a thing, because over there we are more conservative. But if it's a loss contingency, no, we do not do that. And then it says, okay, record a loss of 800,000, 1 million, and 1.2 million. I believe the attorney said it was between 800,000 and 1.2 million. And this question gives you all three examples. Which amount we choose? We choose the lower amount here. We have a range. So the answer is going to be B. We are going to record a loss of $800,000. And here is also solution and analysis. So why is it correct? It says it's probable, so we met the first condition. They give us an estimate amount, so they give us a range. So based on, because like the both conditions are met, we are recording it. If there is no best estimate, we use minimum. If the attorney told us based on the best estimate it is 1 million, we would use a 1 million, but because there is a range, we use the lower one. What would be the journal entry? We are debiting the loss, which is 800,000, and we are crediting the liability for 800,000. 6 memory tools that is going to help you on the exam day. So the first one is the PRR rule. If something is probable, we record it. If something is reasonably possible, we reveal it. If something is remote, we relax. The second one is the LED test. So when do we disclose and record? If the likelihood is probable and if we have an estimate amount, we disclose and record. If one of the conditions do not meet, we do not record it. We still disclose though. So something happened, amount is estimable, loss probable, we make an entry because there's a statement impact. In the exam, if it gives you like a range, when there is no amount is more likely, use the minimum. Do not use the midpoint, do not use the maximum. For the gain contingencies, we never record the gain contingencies until it's realized, regardless of the probability. Because of the conservatism, the way to remember is gains get gone. And for the guarantees, we said this one is an exception. If we have a guarantee, even if it's like a remote, for the PRR rule, we always disclose it. Came to end of part one. What we covered here, we covered the PRR rule framework. We covered the two-step test for recording. We covered the gain contingencies, which we never record, and we covered the guarantee exceptions. Let's see you on the second part of the lecture.